Welcome to Gamepinions, a bonus episode of Gamepinions. So we're going to have our normal episode tomorrow. We were going to record it today, but we didn't have everybody on the same schedule. So I figured it was about time for us to do a bonus episode, something that we've wanted to do for a long time. So as always, I'm your host, Calman, and today I'm joined by the one, the only, Kim Kim.
Hi.
Kim Kim, how are you doing this fine day?
I am doing wonderful.
So it is actually super late at night. We are way past our bedtimes. And we're going to be talking about a game that we have been playing for, I guess, this past week, right? We really kind of started playing it a lot last weekend.
Every day, all day.
Now,
Sorry.
and it's going to be in the title, so you guys are already going to know what it is. That, of course, is Stardew Valley. And I just want to go ahead and start off by having a little bit of a news story here. And this came out, I believe, today. And this was from the official Concerned Ape Twitter account, who is the developer behind Stardew Valley. And he came out and said, Stardew Valley has sold over 10 million copies. It's strange and amazing to think back to when I was making this game in my bedroom with no clue if anyone would like it, only 4 years ago. To everyone who has played this game, supported it, and made all this possible, thank you. So this is actually pretty insane because this game was basically made by one single person.
Which is crazy. I mean, like, that's just, imagine doing all that yourself.
I know. It is absolutely unreal.
I'm not sure how long it took him to make this game, but I'm impressed. I mean, for all that it's put together and everything that he could possibly do, it's a wonderful game, and it was a great idea because there's not much out like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this game, I think it's available on pretty much everything. I think the only system that it really didn't go out to, I'm pretty sure, was the 3DS. And even that, it's possible maybe it did.
So you can get it on the Switch, and you can definitely get it on the PC. It's not a hard game to run. It's not like Minecraft per se. But on PC, you definitely can mod it if you want to.
Yeah, you can mod it. You can mod the different colors. You can.
But on the Switch, you can't, as far as I know.
No, you can't on the Switch, but it's available on the Nintendo Switch, on the PlayStation 4, on the Xbox One, on the PC, and it is also available on the PlayStation Vita, which I thought was pretty crazy, and that released on the PlayStation Vita in 2018. So, I mean, there's a lot of places that you can play this game, and there's a lot of things about it that make it a special game. And, you know, I think the whole story of this guy working on this game and this kind of being his dream game to create, and then him finally, you know, being able to, you know, realize that dream and it, you know, become reality is pretty freaking awesome. And I mean, this is kind of turned into like a comfort game for us in a way. A game that when we want to play something together, we somehow always find a way back to Stardew Valley.
Because, you know, in a weird way, it's strange. I mean, you can play Minecraft and there is, you know, this creativity behind making a world. But honestly, when you get into this game, there's NPCs, there's people you can interact with and with your friends. And on top of that, you can build, like, you know, your own farm. It's similar where you could build your own things if you wanted to on, like, you know, this separate side of the map. There's like this nostalgic split screen kind of feel you get from it. Like, oh, you're with me in this, you know, and you could still compete with each other in events, and you can still do your own thing and even have separate money, which in Minecraft, there's no currency kind of thing. Yeah. And that's the closest thing. Like, I used to love to play Minecraft nonstop. And I was like, I'm going to do this and this and this. But as I got older and I, you know, worked more and more, and then it's just, there's guidance in a way. There's something always happening. There's all the seasons. It's very similar to Animal Crossing in that manner, where you can expect something fresh and new for the next season. You know, and there's like adjustments you have to make, you know, like it's not just one part of the map that's snowing and there's there's just extra things you can do. And it reminds you of Animal Crossing, but everyone's human, which is kind of weird because when you think about it, it makes it like, whoa, this is trippy. But there's something there that you can like focus on, like mining. You can do mining, you can do fishing, you can farm. Heck, if you just wanted to sit inside the house and redecorate, it will take literally the whole day up. Like,
yeah, it will definitely.
mm-hmm.
And
so it's been relaxing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a relaxing game, but I feel like it's a game that appeals to like such a wide audience because there's so many different things that you can actually do in the game. Like if you don't want to build a massive farm, you don't have to. But if you really want to, you can, and you can build a pretty expansive farm and a really, big ecosystem, right in your little area there. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's a ton of different plants. I don't even think we've unlocked all the different plants and crops and all kinds of different things that you can put into the ground. And then we also have some RPG elements. So you're leveling up things. You're making decisions on what you want to prioritize, your experience that you gain. There's different skills you can select. And it's way deeper than I thought it was going to be. When I first saw the game, I'm like, oh, it's a little farm game. I'll mess around with it for a little while and not really, take it, super seriously. And I mean, to an extent, we don't take it super seriously. But you can still kind of create goals for yourself in there, and you can still work on certain skills that you want to build up. Like if you want your fishing skill to build up, you just basically catch a ton of fish and you donate them and you sell them, and you'll start leveling up in fishing, and it unlocks new fishing equipment.
And it's weird because in order to improve these things, it's not difficult, but it's just intriguing enough for you to say, I can do this, and I can literally be laying down in bed, and I could just keep doing it. It's almost like Tetris. Like, is it hard per se? No, but it is still challenging because you still have to pay attention and know what you're doing. So it's just like that perfect amount of being intrigued in order to, keep your interest level, and still to have fun and still for it not to be challenging per se.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the decisions, you have the decision that you could be really nice to people or very cold and distant, which I find almost like, KOTOR vibes. I could be really nice to people, or I can just literally give them really stupid gifts if I wanted to. Like, hey, here's some clay I dug up, you jerk.
Here's a broken pair of glasses.
Or I could be like, I love you, and just give everyone diamonds or jewels or something.
Which I'm sure some people won't like.
Yeah, someone's bound to not like it.
Yeah.
We're still figuring out that system because I think you can, which is cool and fun. You have to figure it out. And there's different ways you can, be informed to what people like. They don't just go, hi, my name's Todd. I like pizza. And if you get me, a gift, preferably maybe my favorite pepperoni pizza from, that local shop you go to, I will be your best friend. It's subtle. The humor is subtle. So, younger kids won't get the humor that's hidden in there. But if you're an adult, you can kind of chime in are those his underpants? Because I swear I see purple underpants in a room. FYI, I'm not going to tell anybody because I can't even remember the person's name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that probably is underwear.
And I think she's married or he's married or something.
They're having an affair.
Something's going on. Maybe they're not, and I just think they are for some reason. All I know is they're hooking up. So
oh God.
So I'm super excited to figure out the truth, but it makes you it. As an adult, you understand. As a kid, I'm sure you'll come across it one day and be like, what? Why are these in here? It's subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, I like how, you have all these different things. There's a decent dungeon crawler. I mean, because we're playing co-op right now, and that's a feature they added, I believe, last January, I want to say, to all the different versions. Switch may have been a little bit later on. But it was, because we originally started the game in single player. And we had a good time, playing that side by side, doing that. But the co-op has really, changed our style a lot, I think, because, we can prioritize different things. So right now, Kim's kind of on the farm. She's, making stuff. She's baking stuff. She is planting. She's trying to expand the farm because our farm's very small. I look on some people's like farms, like on because I was looking through Twitter trying to find some tweets for this episode, and unfortunately, Stardew Valley Twitter is a bit toxic. And
What?
I saw a lot of inappropriate things on
Oh
there.
my
Oh
gosh.
yeah. Don't even bother. It's definitely worth looking up, but there wasn't really one that I could pull out and use for the show, if that makes sense. Even though I really wanted to, because it's kind of in a way a bonus episode / Stardew Valley celebration episode. But I just going back to what I was saying, I like that. We can kind of prioritize different things. So she's on the farm, and then I'm in the mines trying to get to the bottom, which I eventually did get to the bottom, and there really wasn't anything down there. To be honest, there was like a key that unlocked the arcade machine. There was an arcade machine that needed like a skull key to unlock it. So I was like, that's weird. Where are you going to get a skull key from? Well, apparently it's the mines. Why did they hide a video game key in the mines? And why does a video game machine, like an arcade cabinet, need a skull key? I don't know.
But you see, there's some secrets, and that was such a spoiler. They should make their way down there to figure out there's a key down there. But
Oh, well, this game's been out for like years,
to be
though.
honest with you, the whole purpose of the mines is like at first we're like, oh, maybe we're supposed to just get to like level 100. But honestly, I think we have to finish the quest for the Adventure Guild, like do the 100, kill 100
Yeah,
slimes.
that's gonna probably be the
We
real
haven't
prizes.
really progressed in that yet, so we don't know
Yeah.
if there's something further we don't know about. So
Yeah,
we're
so
not
I'm-
very far.
Yeah, so I'm kind of working on that right now. But then on top of all this other stuff we're doing, like on top of the farming, on top of the dungeon crawling type elements, which I really think kind of amplify the RPG feels, in my opinion. There's a whole dating simulator mixed in there, and there's events and different things. It's just there's so many things that you can do, and that's why I think it just appeals to so many people. Because I mean, if you want to go on there and you just want to make relationships, I mean, you can do that. You technically don't have to work on the farm or do mines or go fishing or do
But
any side missions.
I think eventually we will definitely need to make relationships so we could get like gifts from them too. I feel like it works
think so,
like
too.
Animal Crossing. I think he had stated that was one of his inspirations, I believe. So I think we get gifts back. I'm pretty sure if you have a good relationship with them, and you could go into their rooms, because right now I can't go in their rooms and they're like, hey, you're not high enough on
That's
their
right.
relationship. And I think
That
we'll
is right.
find more doing that. So I'm super excited to build those, and I don't really want to have a relationship with everyone in town.
Oh, I know, yeah.
But yeah, definitely some people devote a brand new save game in order to make a new relationship with like someone else and see what their kids, you can have kids in the game, will look like. Now, I know you can have them in the PC. I don't know if you can have them in like the Switch or anything. They don't do anything. They just walk around. But I'm pretty sure like how the kids look depends on, who you're with. So I think that's super crazy. But we have Sebastian.
Yeah.
I think he's an option, which is like this really, I don't know what to call him. I'm not sure if he's like dark and gothic or what his preference is, his style he's aiming for, but basically he's the dark-haired guy.
Well, judging by the fan art I saw on Twitter, he's dark and gothic and mysterious.
Oh boy. Sam's the skater boy. Alex is the football guy. The pretty girl's name's, do you remember Haley?
Oh, I don't know. We probably should have looked at
So the blonde hair girl, she's really mean. She's, to me,
Yeah, not a
if you look
pleasant
up
person.
with her, you just want blonde kids. Don't you lie. You want blonde, little, cute, blue shirts, really bright colors, because she's very bright. She even has like this, if anyone else has noticed this, she has an aura around her. It's almost like a really light red border around her character, unlike everybody else. But she's super pretty, but she has a very bad personality, so I don't like her much.
I feel like she's already dating somebody.
Really? I don't think so.
I think so. If you go into her character profile, I think it says she's in a relationship with like Shane or something.
Oh, so you guys are like breaking apart people.
Homewreckers.
Yeah, and then there's Elliot on the beach, which honestly, why there's a proper guy that looks like he drinks tea on the beach really confuses me.
Does he live on the beach?
Yes,
Or
he
was
lives
I thought that was like his hideaway.
No, he lives in the shack, but he's so
Really?
proper. Yeah, I really like his personality. That's Elliot.
Oh, Elliot.
Yeah, I love the way he treats you though. Like he is so
I don't
sweet.
really talk to. I barely talk to these
But
people,
to me, he
honestly.
was pretty mysterious too, because I'm like, someone like you on the beach, what are you doing? So, and then there's that shady sailor man or whatever he is, pirate guy, out there on like this other little, like it's the beach, but it's separated. You need to have 300 pieces of wood to get over there, but he's like hardly ever there. He just
Oh
stands up
yeah,
there
I know what you're
sometimes.
talking about. I haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what that is about. And he's like, I have this amulet. I'm not ready to give it to you yet. But I think
Oh, that's probably that mermaid necklace.
it must be. It has to be like a relationship necklace thing, right?
Yeah, once you hit a certain point, I guess he'll probably show up, and then
But you know
yeah,
what's
could
weird
probably
is
do
he's
that.
super mysterious and he's talking about this necklace, but I think everyone in town knows about like this ritual, which is even weirder.
That's very strange.
Like
Yeah,
you would think that if they're gonna get married in town, they'd have to have that necklace too. I don't know.
yeah. There's still a lot of things that we haven't discovered about the game yet, and we've had this game for a while, and we've kind of been off and on. So we go through like phases, and I feel like every time we come back to this game, it's simple enough that it almost feels like, a really good friend that you have, and you haven't seen each other for a long time, but then when you meet up again, it's almost like you haven't missed a step. And besides like some menus and stuff that, you have to kind of use like your analog stick to go over to and access like your quest menus. Besides that, we remember how to play the game really well. Like I feel
Mm.
like it's simple enough to return back to. So it actually really fits, our lifestyle in a way. Um, but there's other things that we haven't gotten to explore yet. People mentioned the sewers. We haven't got a chance to go down there. Obviously, we've seen like the sewage drains, and it looks like there's a little cover where at some point in time, I'm assuming we'll have access to the sewers.
Yeah, because we don't like to Google what we're supposed to do, or all we know is we saw the kids playing near the sewer so far, and they mentioned the key is, I guess, on the old guy that.
That's right. Yeah. So maybe if you have a good relationship with him, you'll have access to the
You know, the
sewers.
guy that brings you to like the community center, and he's talking about the whole building thing, like the community center, and if we don't do anything, then I guess Joja Market or whatever is gonna come in.
That's right. And I
But
wonder if there's going to be more drama with that.
well, I think because we're repairing it and we're really trying to like get all those things, like like
The community center.
yeah, we're trying to complete those like bundles or whatever they technically. I think they're called bundles. I
Yeah, they are
believe
bundles.
so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
It's
they are
like little
bundles.
collections. Like you
Yeah.
got to collect all of a certain species of fish or something
Yeah,
in
or
the
have like,
river. Hmm.
perfect crops. You have like 5 of each. So it's like, gold star corn,
Those
gold
give
star
you
apples.
goals too, though. Definitely doing those. Like that's really hard. The crops for me to get like those 5-star or gold star ones because I still, for some reason, can't remember to put the fertilizer down and actually have good quality crops
Yeah.
come out. That would definitely change the game. And then cooking, trying to figure out how to feed my animals, I was a little lost there. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what do we need? A silo? Why can't I just feed them some grass in my hand? And then, so we had to hurry up and build a silo.
It's like,
We
wait a minute.
we bought a chicken and we named it. I named it Cheaper.
Yeah, cheapers 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, no, 2 and 3 had to be sold because I felt bad that they were starving because we didn't understand how to feed them.
They were a little neglected in the food department.
And then I got one cow and I named that cow Mooer. So we have Mooer and we have Cheaper. And I didn't know how to feed them. And it's winter. And I literally have no grass in my field. And I tried to go buy it. And it's expensive to buy feed. I stuck that in the silo and they still are grumpy. So I don't know
I don't know
I'm
what their
doing
deal is.
wrong. I'm like, well, just wait till spring. And I don't know if they can die. So I just haven't been back in the building yet.
Maybe winter was not the best time to do that. Well, because there's not a lot available in the winter time, at least
Listen.
not at this point in our careers.
When online was set up, it was set up in a way that you didn't have the 4-plot land that you can get. It's a new map that came out, as well as some new skins for like the dog and the cats that you can select in the beginning of the game. We didn't have those options at first for some reason. It
Yeah.
wasn't fully up to date. They just introduced it. That or we didn't know about it and we just went straight into the game. So we had set up the game and and we have shared money. So we don't have separate money. So if I don't get those animals, he's gonna go get like a tool upgrade, and I'm like, no, wait, I want an animal.
But I want a new sword.
I had a beg for the kitchen. I was like, no, wait.
It's like, this is just like real life.
I wanted to get the kitchen so I could start the cooking, because we need meals in order to go down in the mines. By the time I had the kitchen and the 2 animals, I literally like have this bucket I haven't even used to milk the cow because it's still winter. He's already been down in the 100th floor, and I'm like, well, what's the point of cooking you food then? So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still need to do those missions, and as you get further down into the mines, as long as you're not like rushing through, those enemies do get a little bit more challenging, and they'll kill you a lot faster. So, I mean, some of the food, if it only restores energy, a lot of times it doesn't really help that much.
I've literally just stored like 20 field snacks in
See,
the fridge.
the only problem with field snacks is that it restores a lot of energy, but it doesn't restore a lot of health.
No, and that's the problem, because I have to cook you food, and I
need
can't do
pizza.
that when my
You need to cook me
cow is
pizza.
literally just mad at me and there's no food for them.
Yeah, so we're definitely going through some growing pains, like in farm expansion, which I feel like we maybe thought it was going to be a little bit easier.
You know, honestly though, it's not like you have like this serious consequence lingering over you.
Yeah, I mean, your
It's
animal just might
fun
die,
to
and then you
kind of
can,
stop it. Don't
turn it
say,
into a steak or
do
whatever.
not say Mooer and Cheaper is gonna die.
Yep, we'll have a nice grilled mooer.
Make him stop.
Hey, I might need to eat mooer in the mine.
No.
Best friend one day, best meal the next.
No. Okay, and I even literally went out and bought like the ingredients from the store just to make a meal or two. I made bread and I made hash browns. And it's because I still don't know what everyone likes yet. I gave Marnie for I think her Christmas gift, I gave her hash browns.
Gee, thanks.
And she's like, ah, ... hash browns.
Hash browns. Yeah.
But you know what I got for the Christmas thing? It was like what was it technically called? I can't even remember. It was like some kind of Star Night or something. But basically I got a tea set.
Oh yeah, you got a tea set, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cute. And you got
I got like a freaking twirly shell.
she got a shell from the beach.
I can't remember what it's called. It starts with an N, I think. Yeah, it's like, come on, man. He's like, it's the best I could afford. It's like, dude, you just went to the beach and you picked it up and gave it to me.
It was Alex.
Yeah.
I had the really sweet guy who I don't know his name. He works up there in the it's next to Robin. He's in the labs. I don't remember his name though.
I don't remember who he is either.
Because we really haven't socialized a lot in the game, kind of like in life. But
yeah, we're focusing on
so
other
focused
things right
on,
now.
like our tools and doing this and trying to make our animals live. So we only give gifts when we can.
And we have like a growing list of missions that we haven't tackled yet, just because I mean we're so busy doing our own thing. And you can do that. You don't necessarily have to do the missions, but the missions give you extra money, possibly boost relationships, etc. But we haven't really dug too deep into like the missions yet.
And then each day, I swear, there's like this new mission that randomly pops up for like the season, basically, right?
Yeah.
And those get me a little nervous because I feel like I can't get like them. It's kind of time limited. Some of these are. So while he's down in the mines, I'm over here trying to catch a squid at night in the winter off the beach. And I swear that thing only comes around at the 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. marker. I swear.
God.
I don't know what it was, but I could only catch one each night. And I fished like all day.
Yeah, that's...
It was crazy. I was like, so you tell me there's only one squid on the beach every night. But anyway, I
But
caught
at least
some
it's not, an Animal Crossing time where if you miss the time frame, you have to wait till the next actual real life day to catch the fish.
That's true. That is very true. I'm glad that it's only like a 30-day, really quick day season kind of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, if things aren't going well in the winter time, or you're starting to get bored, I mean, you can just pass the time and you can go. I mean, but like I said, there's plenty of things to do. Like if your farm life is kind of degrading in the winter time because there's not a ton of things to plant. I mean, I think maybe you can plant trees, and that's about it right now.
Well, in the farming aspect, I mean, you can grow vegetables, fruits, the flowers, and the trees, which are
Even
new
still in
to
the
us.
winter?
Oh yeah, no, not during the winter. You really can't plant a lot of crops besides, basically, like you could have your trees. I think there is one or two things you could plant, but I think that they're not really like fast growing or something.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
Don't mark me on that.
because I haven't tried to plant
But
anything.
you can still gather roots and stuff. So you can also get your income from running around
Yeah.
gathering like these star roots or something, the star
Oh
fruit
yeah.
too. So that is still a money making method. But
Yeah, and you can kind of utilize winter, I guess, to
other things.
yeah, like do like your side missions. You can go to the bulletin board, collect more, because the bulletin board usually has like a mission on there, like get me a squid or something like that. I'll give you like 500 gold for it, and you can kind of just focus on that. You can focus on catching fish. You can go to the mines during the winter time and get some
Improve your
some
other
yeah
skills.
material. You can save up money and upgrade your tools during the winter time because a lot of the things like the watering can. I think you can upgrade the watering can, right?
Yes. Yes, you
So
can.
you can upgrade stuff like that because you're not really going to need it in the winter time.
And I think now we have a trash can animation from the last update,
Oh yeah, we
don't we?
do have a trash can animation because before I think the trash can lid just made us like I don't think it moved at all. I think it just made a sound, but now the trash can lid kind of moves up. I mean, maybe that's always been the case, but I personally don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember either, and I don't remember there being a copper trash can thing that you can have on your lot. You can actually get like a copper trash can from the blacksmith now, which I
Really?
don't think that was a thing before, but it does something.
Well, maybe because we leveled up in some kind of way, maybe
We
that
think
unlocked
it's
it.
new, but we're still noobs.
Yeah, because we don't know. I mean, because things unlock as you, I guess, get further and further into the game. Like they said, they're going to add like a new set of crops, for this upcoming year. Because we just got done our first year pretty much.
Oh yeah, the store guy had said Perry mentioned that for each new season, he's going to add one new crop for each year. So each year, every like spring, one new crop will be able to be planted, which I find that keeps it very interesting and makes you more devoted to also playing too. So there's
Yeah.
something fresh, something new coming to us,
Oh
something.
yeah.
So it's a really good game, especially for if you're someone who works an 8 to 5, 9 to 5, you work. It's primarily where you are every day. The days in game go by fast and seasons go by fast enough where you actually feel like your time in the game, like you can enjoy like all the seasons. Things go by fast,
Oh yeah.
but not too fast. It's a really good pace.
Yeah, I like that a lot because you can go on there for 30 minutes or an hour, and you can get a lot done. Like
Yeah,
you can actually get through a lot of different things that you want to accomplish, and it's not a game that really requires a ton of time. I mean, you can pour as many hours as you want, and time melts when you are playing that game.
oh yeah.
Like it just disappears. But I mean, you can get a lot of stuff done in like 30 minutes in an hour.
Oh yeah, you feel accomplished. Like you're able to get enough done where you're like, "Oh, I made good progress."
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you get it on the Switch, you can also take it places too. So I mean, I personally like it on the Switch because I like being able to play Stardew when I'm laying down, just because it's such a relaxing game. And to me, I mean, those kind of games and that style of game, it works best on a handheld to me. I know you don't get like the modding abilities, and maybe it runs slightly smoother on like the PlayStation 4 or the PC. But to me, I mean, it runs perfect on the Switch, and it's just, I don't know, a really comfortable way to play it is just laying back and just relaxing.
It is my favorite thing to do is just sit in bed or lay back in bed and play a game. Like it's impossible for my other games. I just sit in a chair and then my back hurts. I don't know, maybe I'm aging. But all I know is it's not comfortable after like an hour. But if you're laying in bed, man, oh my god, the time goes away like so fast and you're like, I don't want to go to bed, which is kind of bad, but at the same time it's super relaxing.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is your favorite thing about the game?
My favorite thing about the game is honestly I'm a huge Sims fan.
You are.
So if this game didn't have like anything to do with the people and getting to know the people in the town, I really wouldn't be as interested. But there's people there. It's an option for you to go and just give a random gift and be like, what? And kind of have interaction when you want. It
Yeah,
reminds
absolutely.
me of Sims in that way, but there's a lot more other kind of different things you can do and story that could be progressed in. So I like that aspect of it. I like the NPC interactions. I really do. That's like one of my favorites. So
Okay.
I
Um,
haven't unlocked the stable yet, so I can't say that I
yeah.
love the horses yet.
Well,
So
this is just so far, I guess. Like your favorite thing so far.
yeah,
I think mine is just I like the variety. If you get tired of doing one thing, you can go and do something else. It's kind of like life in a way. Like if you get tired of, I don't know, like watching TV, you can go play video games. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of stupid, but you don't have to, dedicate all your time to one thing if you don't want to. But you still have the option if you do want to do that.
it reminds me of like something like an open sandbox game like Skyrim or Oblivion, things
On a much
Fallout.
smaller scale.
But the thing about those games is really you're engaging in combat and then you're always doing quest. I mean, most of those games don't also offer you like housing where you can
That's true.
farm, where you can craft really in like a tranquil setting. I know
Yeah.
it's weird, but like this is like a new level relaxation. It's literally like Animal Crossing where you can be mobile, you can bring it anywhere you want to whatever your comfort is, and you can play it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so great about it too. That's honestly probably the top of my list.
Yeah, and
The mobility.
I love the like the 16-bit style. It feels very much like, if a Super Nintendo game was released today, you have just a ton of content poured into it. And there's so many layers to that game where, it seems like it might just be a really small experience on the outside. But once you start digging in and you start doing all this different stuff, it's like, wow, like this is insane. And plus, because it looks the way it does, it's gonna always look like Stardew Valley. Like that 16-bit style is one of my favorite styles, like in all of video games.
Something I would like to also mention is we live in a day where a lot of people right now, if they don't know something, they go straight to Google. I
Yeah,
mean, I find myself like I went through a phase where I was just looking up things at that point. I was like, I don't get it. I'm going to Google it. But if you try to play this game, don't Google what people like. Don't Google what happens. Decide what you're going to decide in game and fully experience the unknown. It is a very fun and interesting game. I mean,
yeah.
sure, you could Google what people like and then you know what gift to give them,
It
but
kind of ruins like
there's no fun and
yeah.
mystery.
There's like a humanistic part of the game, and part of that is trial and error. Kind of like real life in a way. So you figure out what people like a lot of times by trying one thing. If that doesn't work, you try something else, and you kind of go whatever way is trending in the better direction.
And they have schedules, which is really cool. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't I still haven't learned everyone's schedule besides I think Shane's who goes to Joja Mart like every day to work his life away, but literally, I mean, I just see him early in the morning go straight to Joja Mart and
Then you have
back.
the bar goers.
But you have a few people in the bar that go like late at night,
Well, when I
but not
went, it
too
was like
late.
half like the town was at the bar when
But
I
I
went.
still can't figure out what day that was for because we're so invested in something else.
Yeah, you don't really remember.
You
Is today
don't.
like Tuesday or Wednesday or
Yeah.
Thursday?
So then it's like, oh, what day was that? Like you gotta get in the groove of the town, which is
I
really
know,
cool.
yeah. And like we always miss birthdays, which is something that I think for this next upcoming year, in game of course, not like,
We should probably try to
2020.
give gifts in the game for all the birthdays that are coming up.
Well, yeah, because we're missing opportunities to kind of build those little in-game relationships, which, like you said, will give us a little bit more, content to play around with. It seems, and we did complete some of those community centers, and that has kind of opened up the game a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have access to the quarry now, which we gained access to another little mine type section, which I got a really cool tool in there, which, was
Don't
the
spoil. Do not.
it's been
Uh,
out for 4 years.
okay, go ahead.
If you guys want to hold your ears for the next 5 seconds, you can. But I mean, it's been out for a long time, so I kind of feel like with this game, all the spoilers are kind of out there in the open. But you get a golden scythe, which is really cool. It's being held by like a Grim Reaper statue, and to my knowledge, that's the only thing that you get from that. But I mean, it just kind of makes you wonder, like, what else are
What's
these?
hidden?
Yeah, like what else is hidden? Like, you have like a little area where there's like these crystal rocks that are blocking like a really large hole, and there's water around it. So what happens when that goes away? Which it will. So I mean, there's just certain things. I mean, we got to go to the desert, which is really cool. We got like a mine cart now that's open. So it's like, you get rewarded, with extra content by doing these, like, objectives and getting the collections. So it's fun collecting those things. It's fun going over to the community center knowing like, hey, we're one step closer to unlocking this thing that we have no idea really what it does. And then there's something exciting about that. It's not something that's, behind a paywall. You don't have to go and bust out your, debit card and pay for, extra content. It's just,
Yeah, Sims 4. I'm kidding.
well, I mean, pretty much every game,
Triggered.
right? But I mean, it's just there's something about it that it's kind of like a throwback to like all these older games where, the incentive was to play the game because it unlocks more stuff. It's not like a lot of games now where it's like you can play something for a really long time and then you either might have a chance to unlock something, or it makes it ridiculously hard on purpose, so you just pay to have, whatever it is unlocked, or
There's no progression per se. Like you could play a game, but you never feel like you've unlocked anything.
yeah, and I feel like this game does a really good job at making you feel rewarded for what you do. And it rewards you with more resources. Like the quarry is really cool because now you don't have to go to the mine. You can go over there and you can get a whole bunch of stones, or you can get a whole bunch of, gold pieces or iron ore. It's different every day, but there's certain things that you can get in there, and it opens things up, and it just makes it feel like, and plus, when they repair the rooms in the community center, it looks awesome. It's like, I remember when this place was a dump, and now it looks great.
Yeah, we don't have our building. It looks, we're making assumptions because we don't want to look it up. But I'm thinking that's going to be a greenhouse that's in our farm thing. And
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that to be like built so I could do flowers in there or have like separate crops in there. So, I mean, I'm really hyped. Like, I literally took like a full day to reconstruct our fence so that it looks like a circle with a gate.
It looks really cool.
Trying to make it look more like a garden farm thing going on. So
Yeah, and I think the greenhouse is going to be really interesting because, we're basically going to, possibly be able to plant different things once winter rolls around. Like, it's going to be a limited space, and the reason why we think it's a greenhouse is because, one, it kind of looks like a greenhouse, and one of the rewards for the collections inside the community center says greenhouse. So we're just assuming that's probably, what it is.
I guess the material makes you think of a greenhouse because it looks like the same
Kind
color
of like
as glass.
Yeah, it's very
and
glassy.
it looks more like it's shattered rather than decaying per se.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, what other building would that be? So super excited about that. And we still need to make a shed. I mean, we are very new to the whole buildings. We need a big coop.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally just unlocked cow and chicken. Like, that's literally all we have. And I want to do the shed because they said you can go in there and decorate it, which makes me think, like, instead of all the 6 boxes I have out here, maybe I could put my chest inside. So, super pumped to do that and figure out what that's all about. So,
Yeah. I'm really excited too. I just know that, whenever we play that game, I know we're going to have a good time. And I know that, we don't have to play it forever and, to feel like we're going to, get something done or get something finished. Like, there's very little pressure. And, I do kind of like the feeling, though, of when I'm inside the mines and I want to get things done, I'm trying to get to the next floor, and I look at the time, because if you don't get back home until 2, at 2 o'clock, your character is going to pass out regardless of what your energy levels are. So there's always like that, kind of time that is creeping up on you. It's like you'll have a shot again tomorrow, but it's like trying to cram things into the very last minute, trying to get the most out of your day. Of course, though, if you wait until 2 a.m., it affects your energy levels for the next morning. So when you go and basically rest up, it's kind of like in real life. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to be as energy efficient the next day. You're going to be kind of drowsy. So this game, it kind of knocks off a little bit of your energy, and you get a little bit tired in the morning.
And it penalizes you by making you pay a fee. And, sometimes things are stolen off of you. So I think that it tries to make sure you have like this, urgency to get back home to rest. So it's really cute.
Yeah, especially like early on when you're, kind of scraping by for money. It's not difficult to make money in this game, but early on, you don't have like, the crab pots or.
Wait a minute. It's not difficult because I'm over here fishing all day.
Well, that's the thing. And you have to also keep in mind that, the more you advance in the game, the easier it is going to be to make money. You get upgrades for your fishing rod, and the fishing mechanic in this game is very interesting. I didn't really like it that much at first, but the more and more we've played, it kind of makes it like a little mini game, and I kind of like it.
The fishing is like everything. Yeah, the fishing at least is definitely like a little mini game where it pops up the bar and there's this little icon of a fish, and he will go up and down the bar, and you have a very little, like basically a green, I guess I'm just going to say like a green bar go kind of thing. And you got to keep the fish inside that little bitty bar, and you press a button and that bar goes up. And you can hold it, but if you hold it, it only goes up. So you got to let go for it to go down. And the goal is to keep that fish inside that little bitty bar. And the longer you keep it there for a certain amount of time, I don't know, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, you'll catch the fish. So that little bar, though, is really tiny, and as you upgrade to different rods, that bar gets bigger, and it gets easier to keep that fish inside of it.
Yeah, and you'll catch fish a lot quicker.
If that made any sense. But basically, it gets easier to fish, and honestly, it was one of my very first tools we upgraded because you can fish all year round. So it makes sense for us to be able to work on the community center for it, be able to get some things done, and have some food, and also something to sell. So it kind of tackled a couple different things.
Yeah, it definitely did.
I recommend that, definitely.
Yeah, and our crab pot method was really good for a little while too, where basically you get a whole bunch of crab pots and you learn how to make crab pots at some point in time. And I think you can actually buy some too.
You can, but they are very expensive as a beginner. Are. And to make them, even the materials when you're just starting out, it takes a lot of energy to obtain those materials. Fishing will be just fine. You don't need the crab pots. You're going to end up with trash in them. So unless you can make a lot of them, or at least 3 of them, I really wouldn't worry too much about it per se.
And plus you have limited pocket space too.
Yes.
Until you upgrade your book bag, which is also, I think, a really good investment early on too, is just to upgrade your book bag as quickly as you can.
Book bag and fishing rod.
You have more space to sell more stuff, so you spend money to make a little bit more money.
I mean, that's at least so far my experience.
Yeah, I mean, we're still, like I said, we're still kind of early on in the game, and we've had it for such a long time. But like I said, when we play a whole bunch of different games all the time. I mean, there's so many different games that we try to get to, and so many different games that we do play. But this is definitely, just like I said earlier, one of our comfort games. We go back to it, and we always have a good time when we play Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah, like that's honestly, it's been my favorite game recently. Like I just find myself being so calm with the music. It reminds me of Terraria, but Terraria is completely different. It's more combat adventure rather than I'm gonna hunker down.
Yeah, and
it's
like a side scroller in a way.
Yeah, it's a side scroller, but that game too was a lot of fun if you didn't Google everything. You gotta avoid Google.
Yeah, and you kind of just have to discover things.
You gotta have like that willpower. Hey, Just do it to enjoy it. Do not do it to not leave something behind and oh my gosh, I'm going to forget to do this or I just want to be successful at it. That's not the point of the game. It's to have fun and just go for it, you
Yeah.
know? That's the point.
Yeah,
So, at least
absolutely.
in my opinion, I think that that's the funnest way to play it because it's
Yeah.
supposed to make you discover it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it just a lot of times, you ruin the surprises for yourself whenever you go and Google things that, you're kind of robbing yourself of like a really fun gaming moment in a way.
Mhm.
It's like, you're going to remember, certain, twists or turns or certain things you unlock or certain things you get, when you get them in game more so than when you look it up on Google and be like, oh, okay, you're going to get a better fishing rod or you're going to get a golden scythe or, whatever it may be. So, I mean, you kind of rob yourself of that.
Now, granted, you can be like, I'm going to have the best farm, but really, who's going to care? You're just going to go brag to your friends?
Well, that's the thing. It's not like you can, like,
know?
enter it into like an online
There's
competition.
not really like a contest.
I
It's
mean, there
just,
might be, but not that I know of.
yeah, not something that's going to be worth you stressing over anything.
No. You
know?
kind of just make it whatever you want and just have a good time with it. But I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean that's pretty much all I had to say about Stardew Valley. I mean, excellent game. Highly recommend it to anyone
Love
that
it.
hasn't played it. It's if you don't think you're gonna like it, chances are you probably are going to like aspects of it, and you're going to come around on the other ones, and you're gonna like it a lot. I wouldn't really consider this my type of game, but it's so many different types of games crammed into one that it instantly clicked with me. So
I'm very fond of it, and it takes me a lot to really get into games that I don't know that are styled like this, that are just pixels. Like I'm very girly and I love graphics, but this game, you're not playing for the graphics. You're playing for the fun.
it just has a really good direction and
It's really addicting.
Yeah, I love the art style. I love the snowfall. I love how the storms work. I like how they look on the screen, how it sounds. I think there's a really good atmosphere to the game. Like it's very, very relaxing atmosphere. But then there's moments where it's like this is kind of creepy and kind of sad, and like the whole homeless man trying to get like sandwiches out of like trash cans or whatever, or trying to get food out of trash cans. There's like some sad moments, and then there's some heartworm. There's some heartworm in the game. No, there's some heartworm. I can't say it. Heartwarming moments in the game.
There's wholesome.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. It's just there's so many. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of personality crammed into this 16-bit looking game.
We need to have that, like the wholesome game award for every year. That needs to be a thing.
I know, the wholesome game award.
The most wholesome of the year.
Yeah, next year we are going to revamp our game of the year.
We're gonna have different awards.
Yeah, we're gonna have different awards, and this year it's kind of weird this year just because we've been so busy adjusting new schedules. So next year we're gonna really plan that out a lot better than we did this year, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that's something to look forward to heading into, I guess.
You're like, what year is it again?
It's 2020. It's in the beginning. So, 12 months from now, look out for this episode.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the end of the world at the end of 2020.
I don't know. It's kind of been the end of the world like multiple times. So, but, this has been a bonus episode of Gamepinions. So it's not going to be numbered like the other episodes because we are having episode 37 tomorrow. And we'll have me, Kim, and John on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little bit of a weird episode. Definitely going to be not very similar to our traditional Gamepinions episode. It's going to have some fun stuff in there. I think it's going to be very interesting. So I'm looking forward to it.
You guys need to start tweeting more about Stardew. That's age appropriate.
Yeah, come on, guys. Like it's
wholesome tweets.
Yeah, we need some wholesome Stardew Valley tweets. Just say, I really like Stardew Valley. Boom. We put you in the podcast. We get to communicate with you guys and it's fun. But oh my God, some of these tweets. I mean, this is worse than when I was looking up Pokemon tweets. With the Pokemon I forget what that was. Sword and Shield. It was like a day after they revealed those games. It's like, oh my god, what is with this fan art? I mean, it was very impressive. Like I'm not gonna say it's not impressive, but man, tone it down a little bit, guys. Come
Like the
on.
Browsette, like the Bowser
Oh god,
and
yeah.
Peach or something.
It's
Oh,
crazy. I mean, there's
my
some
eyes.
really talented people, but it's like their talent is
It'll make your cheeks really, really hot and pink, and you get a little sweaty, and you're like, what did I just see?
it's very scarring. There's
It-
certain things that I've seen on Twitter with like different fandoms and these like fan art, and it's very definitely very scarring. I mean, there's certain pictures that I saw when I was looking through this on the Pokemon episode that still to this day are very vividly tattooed on my brain, and I honestly don't know how to feel about it.
It's kind of like, I probably shouldn't say this, but it's kind of like the games on your phone when you have like those dating games and you don't talk about that with people, but you guiltily know that you look at that stuff. Like the Shall We, I'm guilty for the Shall We Date series, and any other girl that's probably watching is not going to fess up, but I really like those stories. The
Oh
guys are
god.
so cute, but it's not like I want to talk about it.
Oh my god.
Or share it on Twitter.
There's some weird dating games on the Switch.
Oh, really?
I think so.
We need to do a series. We
Oh,
need to
God.
we need to play one, and I need to play one.
Yeah, I don't. I
like,
honestly,
no.
no. I mean, I probably would just because I'm kind of curious, like how ridiculous they are. But I mean, there's one where it's like I think it's almost like a girl, but it's like in similar style to like Nintendogs. Like it's like you take care of her or something. I forget.
Really?
Kind of. But I mean, it's not like Nintendo. It's not like you throw a ball for her and she runs and gets it. No, it's not like that. But
Their
it's
cell phone.
it's kind of like in a similar style where it's just her and she's doing stuff and communicating with you, and she wants to do this or that.
We need to do a series on dating games and which ones we like.
I don't know if it was ever localized. Honestly, it might have been, but you do actually have access to the Japanese eShop on the Switch because
My
nothing's
guilty-
region locked.
My guilty pleasures. No, that's the only phone games I will ever
Oh, we need
play.
to make a guilty pleasure episode. Maybe that'll be another bonus episode we can do.
That would
Like,
be
what's
fun.
your guilty video game pleasures?
My cheeks are gonna hurt.
Gamepinions after dark.
It's really hard for me to talk about,
Yeah,
but it'll be fun, and it would be
that's the
really
thing.
interesting.
like I don't even know what my guilty pleasures would be. I mean, I think my guilty pleasures are really sports games because a lot of like hardcore gamers, a lot of them don't consider sports games actual games. So it's like, hey, you can play football outside. Like you don't have to play. It's like, yeah, but I can't run a franchise, in my backyard. It's there's stupid
I
think
think we
like
have
that.
two different definitions of guilty pleasures.
Well, I mean, I think it's guilty in a sense, like they're, because,
I'm just
like NBA and like Call of Duty, it's like, oh, that's what the dude bros play. That was kind of like the big stigma around those games.
I was like, oh, a game with all guys. Do you want to tell me something that I don't know?
No,
about you?
no. Well, I mean, football is all guys.
Very concerned. No, I'm kidding. I'm not concerned. I'm just curious now. You've piqued my interest. We need to have an additional, obviously, another bonus episode. So definitely be excited for that.
Yeah, and this is a side note, but me and John actually discovered that in MLB The Show, that the little kids are just scaled down versions of the adults.
Really?
Yeah. How creepy is that?
We need like secrets. A bonus episode of secrets we can uncover about like games.
Yes.
Dark web secrets.
Now, I honestly don't know how I'm going to format this yet because I have never done the bonus section in Apple Podcasts. So this is going to be really interesting and how that kind of communicates with these other podcasting things. So guys, we're going to be having an experiment
We're going
episode.
to be creative.
Yeah, we're scientists tonight when I go and edit this podcast, and we're going to see how it works. If for some reason it doesn't display on the feeds, I'm going to go in and I'm going to fix it, and we'll just put it on the normal feed. We'll just label it bonus episode. So hopefully it finds you guys well. So
Our intent was for it to be a bonus episode. Will it work out? We don't know.
there
Stay tuned.
might be serious issues, and we'll be like, heck, this is episode 37. We're having episode 38 tomorrow, 2 episodes a week, whatever.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, but we're going to try it out as a bonus episode and see how that works. Worst case scenario, we'll rebrand it. So that sounds like a plan.
Yes.
Well, Kim, I guess we will reconvene this time tomorrow.
Sweet.
Which it is Friday. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday tomorrow. Make sure you guys leave us a review on Apple Podcasts because we are desperate for them. And
yes,
we want to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, we're really excited for tomorrow. So you guys can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio. We are now available on TuneIn for the first time ever, which I guess was effective last week, but I never said anything about it. So if you guys are big TuneIn fans and you've been struggling listening to this on Apple Podcasts for whatever reason you just don't like on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and you're just like, I wish Gamepinions was on TuneIn. Well, guess what? We are on TuneIn now, and we're on pretty much every other podcast app. If you guys wanted us to be on another podcast app that maybe I missed, shoot us a comment on Twitter or the YouTube channel, really wherever. I mean, it's Gamepinions everything, so...
Mm-hmm. And also, if you guys want to drop any suggestions, I mean, we would be glad to talk about your review if you want us to actually talk about it. Like,
yes.
We want to communicate with you guys and connect with y'all. So definitely give us a review, and we will mention your name.
And also, make sure you check out Kim's Let's Plays on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
She has, I believe, 3 episodes?
3 of Oblivion right now.
Okay. And I watched the most recent one. And it's extremely relaxing and fun. Little bit of a unique twist on there to, like, I guess, traditional Let's Play. So I'm really enjoying that series a lot. So
I'm getting better with the editing and the intro, and yeah, I think I'm getting things like, I don't know, taken care of.
Yeah,
makes sense. Like
absolutely.
I'm getting my mojo.
Yeah, so go over there, check that out. It's a lot of fun to watch. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day tomorrow, and we will see you tomorrow night, or I guess it'll probably be Saturday morning that you'll probably listen to that.
Whenever this
goes live. This will go live on Apple Podcasts tonight, and then everywhere else tomorrow morning. So, yeah. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night and day or whatever. So, see you.